I'm Jennifer Facciolini. I teach high school social studies at Midway High School and Sampson County Schools, and I've been teaching for 12 years. You know, the great thing about social studies today is it isn't about drilling facts about things that happened years ago. It's about using our past to really teach us where we are today. And I think we've done a disservice through the years of convincing ourselves and our students that history is about boring old dead people who made rules that don't apply to us. Social studies opened doors for me to be able to see where my world is now, how it got there, and all of the things that kind of marry history. I look at the great literature of our past, and I love to be able to talk with my students about, hey, this story came from this time period. Look at all these things that were going on historically and how they influenced this writer. Or kids love music. When they can learn how much history influences the things we listen to in our music and in the movies that we watch, I think it's such a great avenue to help children open up their minds and learn how to connect things to the real world. If I have to look at who I really am, I'm a teacher. And social studies happens to give me the avenue to teach something I really enjoy. I think that I would be equally as happy teaching English or another humanities. I don't think I would be very good at math, but that's okay. I had great teachers from kindergarten and first and second grades all the way through high school. And I remember being really torn between whether I wanted to be a history teacher or whether I wanted to be an English teacher, and having the most amazing teachers in both of those. But getting into 11th grade with Ms. Diane Denning and making history come alive really made me decide I want to do this for other kids. I want them to learn that history isn't a bunch of facts that we spit back out, that it's real, it's livable, and it's connectable to where we are today. I've heard of NCCAT since the beginning of my teaching career, always in this positive context of, oh, I got this great idea at NCCAT. I learned about this at NCCAT, or I met so-and-so at NCCAT, and that is her specialty. Let me give you her email. Let me give you her contact. It is enriching professional development that gets at the core of who we are as professionals and helps bring out teacher leadership qualities that maybe we've suppressed beneath the stacks of to-be-graded papers and to-be-filed folders. I was fortunate enough to attend the NCCAT seminar called Creativity, Leadership, and Change with other teachers of the year from different school districts across North Carolina. It was a wonderful opportunity to meet with other teacher leaders, to share ideas, to really get at the core of what teacher leadership is about. We have this network of people that we can say, hey, we're trying this new school improvement plan at our school. Have you guys done this? What's the feedback at your school? Can you help us with that? When I look at how NCCAT changed me as a teacher, it improved my ability to lead my students. Yes, I know my content. Yes, I can learn more about my content, but what have I taught them to do with this content? What have I taught them that's going to make them a better citizen tomorrow? And looking at my student surveys, looking at my relationships with my students, I know that I gain tools at NCCAT that are going to continue to help me reach more students. I live in an old farmhouse. It is the farmhouse I was raised in. I'm raising the third generation of children in this farmhouse, and the same pecan tree that sat out my window and haunted me when I was 5 years old is still sitting out the window haunting my children. And I sat on the porch and I looked at this beautiful tree, and it was right after this massive storm had come through, and I thought, that tree has weathered so many storms. Through the Hurricane Hazels and the Hurricane Frans and the Hurricane Floyds and all of the tornadoes, it still stands. And what makes that tree stand is its roots. And teachers that have the opportunity to participate in staff development that NCCAT provides and join together and form this network, we give each other these roots. And as we go through this difficult storm for the next few years, economically, looking at massive curriculum changes, massive kind of a paradigm shift in the way we look at education, in a sense, we have the roots to stand true. We have the roots to know that through the good and the bad, we're in it for the kids, and we want them to be better students, better leaders, better citizens tomorrow. When we hold each other's hands, when we hold on and say, we're going to survive this storm, that helps our morale. When we look at a student who finally says, oh my goodness, I got into this college and I couldn't have if you had not helped me with my essay, those are the reasons we stay. And those are the reasons we will continue to stay even in this difficult climate. You know, I think the great thing about public schools in North Carolina is we are pace setters. We are doing some amazing things that other states are knocking on our door and saying, how'd you do that? When you walk in a classroom in a public school in North Carolina, it doesn't matter your income level. It doesn't matter your parents' occupation. What matters is that you're a child who wants to learn, and we're going to make that happen. And public schools are amazing places to help children foster their dream. when you take away the element of public education, you take away the idea that everybody's got a shot. And public schools in North Carolina offer every child that walks through our classroom doors the opportunity to be the next teacher, the next doctor, the next lawyer, the next president, the next leader in the Peace Corps. Recently, there's been a survey that showed North Carolina ranking near the bottom of all 50 states in the amount of money we spend per pupil. That's a little scary. Teachers give it 110% every day. We love our kids like they're our own. We want to help them be successful like that's our own biological child. So even though we know we rank really near the bottom in per pupil spending, we suck that up and we make magic happen every day in our classrooms. But what we really need to look at is how long that can sustain. How long can we go on being in the bottom 5 states in per pupil spending and expect the economic return on that to still be great? What's the old saying, change is good, you go first? Change is this word we throw out there, and we're all aboard until it involves really reflecting on who we are. Change has to be the action verb that we choose to be a part of ourselves, and that we can't point fingers, but we have to say, join me. I think we really have to look at education not as this separate entity, but as the future economy of the state of North Carolina. These are our future workers. These are our future lawmakers. This is where North Carolina is headed. So we can invest now and make some really great things happen.